What's up, guys? It's ZFarls here with some MUT gameplay. Now, I'm going to teach you how to run the Arizona offensive playbook today. Also, talk a little bit about defense, talk a little bit about my first two MUT Invitational round games. And the first thing you're going to notice about the Arizona playbook is it has our single back ace, which is a great formation. We've broken it down in the Carolina version of the MUT podcast more in depth than I'm going to go today, but I just want to show you that it's there. You don't have the strong close, which is unfortunate. You only have the strong pro, which I'm not as big of a fan of. Now that stretch run, I don't know if you saw the blocking on that stretch run. The linemen just really show what direction that they're going to pull to. So I find that pretty interesting. So I wanted to try that run out now. What you're going to notice is my opponent's going to really give me the inside all game. He's never really going to play run defense. He's going to play just kind of passive pressure. And if you have a lot of big hitters in the secondary and at linebacker, this is an okay strategy. I actually kind of like his strategy because he didn't pack everybody in the box. He kept just giving me the inside run. So when I'm coming out in this formation, I'm just showing you guys the basics of this run. This is the halfback zone week. It's probably my favorite run of the game. You guys know that already, though. But you can see here, I have to take it up the middle for 6 yards, 7 yards. You're never really going to break it up the gut like that unless you're going to get the double team on the edge. But just the way look at his line, guys. If you're new to the game, look at his line. I got two guys free. Here we get a nice gain. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts for him, but he's never going to truly give me the edge and potentially get beat by a huge gain. So I kind of like that. I'm kind of just going hurry up here because I feel like I have the advantage. I mean, look at the two safeties way back at the 30-yard line. They're 20 yards away from the play. I mean, okay, he gets a linebacker in there, but still, I mean, his two safeties are never going to be able to get in on the run until I pick up at least 7 yards. So that's something good. But I wanted to pass a lot from this, and this is to play gun snugs, a place called Zona Seams. Now, in the MUT Invitational, I played God's Thumbs in my second game, and I've seen some of his gameplay on YouTube, and what I did was he runs this play, and he puts Jackson on a in route, and he puts Barry Sanders on a blocking. So this is pretty much the only adjustment here. You can see we're going to playmaker Barry back to the outside and pick up yards. That's pretty much the man read on this play. You can use the play action play from this to beat man. The two outside routes are pretty good, and you can also quick throw to X for a man beating route, but here it's a 3rd and 3 again. We're going to just leave Jackson across the middle of the field. He's going to get open here. He backed off his guys. He's decently covered there, but I felt pretty good about the read since he had backed his coverage off and we were only going for 3 yards. But this is a nice play. It's going to tear up zone in the middle of the field. So it's primarily used to beat zone because you could quick throw to Gordon, either Gordon on the left. But here he's playing man here. That man route, once again, doesn't get pressed because it's on the outside and it starts out to the left, and then you can throw it and click on for the outside. You really want to work on that timing. Don't bring this into game and just think, oh, I can do that. You really need to practice the timing because you need to know how to click on it and when to throw it and how to lead it. But here you can see we put Barry Sanders on a swing. We like to block him, but we think we can get a pretty nice lead on our opponent by getting out to the sideline. So we always like that wheel pattern pretty nice. Here we go to the PA version of this play. And Moss is on just a simple crossing route over the middle. I mean, this is the most basic thing I've ever done basically in Madden. I was going to look to the man beating on the outside, but once I saw the Moss route, I'm like, it's just football. Guy's going to run just a nice route over the middle. Hopefully we can get him sucked in with a fake, and we're going to look to hit him for a touchdown. So that's the first thing I would do with the Arizona playbook, guys, is really lab the gun snugs portion of it. But don't forget about the single back ace. And if you're new to the podcast, check out the single back ace that we broke down in Carolina. It's going to have the very similar runs, and I just go a little bit more in depth. There's not a lot to it, and there's not a lot you need to know. You just need to kind of know how to read the defensive ends and where to go. You can take the run inside or outside. That's why we like it. But I don't want to double dip on it. So we're going to come out and run defense, and I'm going to show you my opponent's going to run single back ace. And this is why single back ace is good, guys. I mean, what can I do to really not that I'm going to have trouble stopping this, but look, I got 8 guys up in the box. He's going to run it and pick up, 4 yards, 3 yards. I can't ever shut it down. You're never going to really blow it up in the backfield because you're going to get pretty good double teams. And so I'm not threatened by this run. Here we make an aggressive decision. We decide to run commit to the right. You see he has 2 Donald Penns and he's got the entire line stacked. So we run commit and we do okay. Ideally, in that situation, we get our defender on the right in the deep zone. We would put him on a flat, but we didn't really have time. We just saw it and we figured, whatever. Let's just go that way. So here, end of the first quarter. A funny thing right now, my opponent tweeted me middle of the game and said, "Oh man, it's my first game in about a month or so, and now I'm playing you," because he must have saw my team name. And so that's pretty cool. I'm glad he hit me up. And I don't think he knew I was recording, but I thought that was fun. I knew he wouldn't quit or anything like that. So here we play Dawkins. We see the crossing route coming, and we wanted to get there, guys. That was 2-man under from quarters. We're using the multiple defensive playbook, which means we have 3-4, we have quarters, we have 4-3, nickel strong. As you know, we like to blitz out of nickel strong. I didn't really blitz out of this game much, but that's what you would do. He comes back and runs it pretty nicely, so whatever 5-wide set he's in has the ability to get down to a 4-wide receiver set. In some of the playbooks, if you go 5-wide, you can't audible. So that's something you got to know. But here at 2nd and 1, he's going to come back out in that strong close. Once again, he's got big guys in. I'm going to try and bring guys down in. Here he motions them out. But look, I got 9 guys up in the box. And, you know, my guy goes back. He doesn't pick up a ton. He picks up a decent gain there, 8 yards or so. But, you know, you can't blow that play up in the backfield. So that's why it's a safe run. And I feel like it is one of the best because you kind of dictate how it goes. Here you see we get that flat zone out there with Taylor. Look at Taylor scrape, get off the edge. Sherman comes in, makes, you know, a hit on the play, but a good job there by us getting a flat zone out there when we saw that there was nobody out wide. So we're going to go back to the trio sky zone. 3-4 solid trio sky zone, guys. It's our basic run defense. Does a really good job stopping runs to the right. Here we don't get that defender out wide enough, so he does capitalize on a touchdown. So a nice play call from him. But generally, that run defense is going to be really solid for most of the game. My MUT Invitational games went well, guys. First round, I played Kilo, got a nice win. The highlights are on this channel as well. You can watch both full gameplays. Gibbs did a good job narrating those games. You can see my full squad there on this channel as well, so the guys that I use. But, you know, I felt confident going into those games. I really just wanted to run the ball. You know, I like to use the San Francisco playbook, but once I felt confident, I got a couple stops on defense in those games, and I forced a couple turnovers. Whether or not they're good fumbles or not, I don't really personally care, but felt like I did. In the second game, I had to pass, and I did well with gun bunch strong. Here's this flip trips play from Arizona, guys. It's play halfback wheel. Once again, it's our favorite 2-point conversion play because if you call it quick, Charles is usually lined up next to Vic, but here he lines up out wide. And you're going to get a mismatch on that linebacker all day because he's not really going to line up. They got to pay attention to it, and if they play man, you get pretty much a free lead. Now, later in the game, he does a good job adjusting, and we almost get a pick 6 because we almost throw late in the flat. Never throw late in the flat, and look out for flat zones on that play, but generally that's going to be a quick play you can hit. Now, Z-Spot is our favorite play in the game, obviously. Yes, Gibbs' favorite play. One of my favorite plays now that I ran it. I took 5 games in a row last weekend and just ran this play over and over and over. And, you know, you can do so much with it. You'll see later in the game I make a game-winning adjustment to this play. That literally wins me the game. I don't run it. I usually run this setup. I drag Gordon, slant to Gonzalez, and motion Gordon out. And now, so here you can hit Gonzalez. Here we put Charles on a wheel sometimes. Now, the formation I like is a different gun bunch where Charles is on the left behind the bunch, but that's not bad either. So here, once again, 3rd and 1. Now we're just going to audible to flip the play and just pick it up. So once again, he gives me up the middle. I only get a couple, but that's all I needed. And right now I'm just thinking, guys, 2 minutes left, minute 30. All I need to do is score a touchdown with less than 10 seconds left in the half. You know, that's what Ultimate Team's all about. He gets ball at half, so I need at least 3. Definitely looking for 7. And it's going to be a huge thing before the end of the half to get it done. So here we roll out with Vic on this play. We just try and follow that route. We could have hit it probably, but I really like when wheel routes come out of the backfield, block free a little bit. And I just want to stress this guy because he's playing 2-man under quite a bit. He does a pretty good job mixing up some cover 2, which is going to have flat zones. And you got to recognize that. But we do carve him up later in the game, specifically with that. And here we scramble with Vic. Once again, guys, Michael Vick is a weapon, a tool to use, Cam Newton, all that. He can hurt you just as much with your legs. If I look to scramble before I make my reads, that can hurt me. But if I look to run, you know, here, we try and run. We we try and slide right away just to get down, and we were going to take a timeout, but we actually throw the ball. So kind of a bummer of a play. But once again, he did a good job adjusting to that short, quick route to the flat, and that's kind of our bread and butter. Personally, I don't have the full reads down from halfback wheel, I'll admit it. I need to learn the rest of the reads on that play if that's not there. So here we're looking at this formation. You see this flanker screen? I'm not comfortable calling that until I call it in practice. I wouldn't just come out and call that because I haven't never practiced it. But this play wide receiver screen, if the DBs are back, you can always throw it. Once again, we've broken this down in Carolina. But as we can see here, it's cover 2, but it's 2-man under, but it looks fishy, so I suspect it's cover 2. So I'm going to put an out to Gordon just in case it is man-to-man, and I could throw that left. But at the snap, watch. They let him go, so I sling it to RB, who gets a nice catch over the middle. That's a good job by my opponent, adjusting from 2-man under to cover 2, which is a zone coverage. They look the same, but something was fishy. I could kind of just sense it, and I had routes to set up throw an out to the left to beat the man, or in the slot to RB to beat zone. So I was ready for both things, and that's a good adjustment by me, and that's key on a big play there. Now we're gonna go back to Z spot here. He's gonna shake it up his D a little bit. We're not too nervous. We're gonna hit X across the middle of the field. Yes, it's a short throw, but ideally we still pick up enough for the first down, and Gordon stays up. We're gonna take a timeout here with 24 seconds left, 27 yards away, 1 timeout, and this gun snugs is going to be the situation where I'm going to go to in a few seconds here. But I'm 9 for 9, and I've never really ran this playbook too much. So once again, guys, concepts carry over in Madden. All the playbook concepts carry over. Here, this is a zone beating play, verticals. Once again, we have the out to Moss, which is a man beater, and then we're actually going to slant Gonzalez. And here we do a pretty nice job using playmaker, which is L trigger and right stick up. And that cuts him across the middle of the field, and we get a nice gain. Now we take a timeout with 18 seconds left. From this situation, we should be able to get off 2 plays, maybe 3, and have a field goal if the clock runs. Like if the clock runs, just come back to the huddle, kick a field goal, and take 3. But here on this 5 wide play, I'm looking to throw to Gordon. He backs off the coverage, and I could have probably fit that in. Here we throw to RB. Good news is he drops it because that wouldn't have given us much time to operate. So here we're going to go back to the gun snugs. Now, once again, this is going to crush zone. I'm a little nervous about it against man-to-man, but ideally it works in our favor with 13 seconds. So if we can still get tackled with the clock running and get a field goal right now, and that's with about 12 seconds left, you can do that. So we're confident that we can still throw over the middle, but he actually goes to zone here. If I'm him, I would have stuck with man, and we just happen to get the perfect play call. So once again, this is a play you can try out, and once again, we saw this. This is a play that God's Thumbs likes to run, so we kind of just Gibbs was running it, so I was like, I don't know, I'll check it out. And here you see Gordon with the quick pass, and that's what that play is built for, just smashing zone right in the seams. And, see something, try it out. You can make your own adjustments to it. He likes to block the halfback. I like to put him on a wheel sometimes, and you can mix it up. So that's a cool play from Gun Snugs. Now, Zan's also got a whole Gun Snug scheme that's similar, and there's a lot of stuff about Gun Snugs out there. We did a 4 wide receiver free scheme on offense from Gun Snugs from the Saints book, which is pretty cool as well. So depending on, and there's only slight variations of difference, so depending on what you like and how you like to run your plays, you can mix those up as well. Now here at the end of the half, we're just going to play quarters, 2-man. What we do is we put, we're not afraid that the quarterback's going to run for a touchdown, so he goes with the screen, and we just get wide, and ultimately it works out in our favor. So you really got to look out for a screen there if they come out in a non-4 wide receiver, 5 wide receiver set. Not that a screen's going to kill you, but it could do some damage if you like try and blitz there for no reason. You just got to mind the clock. We're going to have to kick off here, so we're glad that we're up 14-7. We're looking to get a stop in this game. So once again, in my MUT Invitational games, I got a little conservative game 1, but I got the pick on the opening drive, and I got 7. And then I think I got a stop on the second drive, even if he didn't convert in the 4th and 1. That was, or 4th and 2. That was like, it was very, very close. I got the benefit of the doubt there. So once I got that, I said I can go up 10, and I get ball at half. And I'm just kind of like a boa constrictor, just like playing the game. And really just trying to grind the clock down, and that did lead me to get a little bit conservative. But once again, I didn't want to turn the ball over, and you know, you play tight when you're in a tournament. And here we get the flat zone out. Here we scrape with Taylor, and that's just a great run defense right there. If you guys missed that, go back and watch that. I mean, that's how you need to play run defense in this game. That's going to be the difference between a lot of wins and losses. So we stopped him for 4 yards on a toss, which killed us earlier for a TD. So, but yeah, you get nervous, and you get not nervous, but you get like a little tight when you're playing. I watched some guys play their MUT Invitational games, and I noticed, like, I watched Pugzilla play an Xbox One. He played his opponent, and he streamed it, which was awesome of him to do. And he ran the ball a lot with Charles. He got the ball back on a big 4th down punt and tried to run the game, tried to go for the win running the ball with Charles, and Charles fumbled on him 2 times, 3 times total. 1 got overturned, so 2 fumbles, and he was just like bummed. And I think after the game he was like, dang, I should have passed. But in the game, it's like you're like, I don't want to I don't want to pass, potentially throw a pick. Or here he goes deep. We click on LB. So great swat there. We would have not been able to get the pick. 3rd and 19. He had Donald Penn on a crossing route, so I was pretty sure he wasn't going to beat his man. I tried to cover the middle. There was a route going to the left. You know, he chose to go deep. I felt like, hey, Deion Sanders can cover Jerry Rice deep, you know, before the game. So I'm going to let him go one-on-one. Worked out in our favor there. We got a swat. We force a punt. And now we just got to, you know, win this game is basically what we're looking to. We do a horrible job fielding the punt. Our guy just says no thank you. And that's cost us a lot of field position. But, you know, I wanted to pass a lot for this video, so you're going to see some more passing, but I would probably run the ball a little bit. And I don't want you guys to sleep on this split close formation. A split close is really good because you have a lot of short, quick passes like wide trail, strong close, where the fullback comes over the middle, or it's a tight end at fullback, but he crosses, receiver's on a drag, and then he crosses. So it's a nice little concept that's really tough to guard every year. You can motion out one of the guys in the backfield to line up and make a gun snugs out of that formation, which is a pretty cool and unique thing to do. So that's pretty cool as well. You have tight doubles in this. You don't have to play shakes from the Rams playbook that we broke down, but you do have a slip screen, which is pretty nice. You have a draw, and I like this formation. I like the idea behind it. To play zone of fade back in Madden 11, legendary play. We'll also look at the gun spread a little bit more in this. They have the best gun spread formation in the game. They have a wide receiver screen, a halfback slip screen, a halfback draw, curl flats with the halfback angle. So if you like gun spread at all, I would say go Arizona book as well. Here you can see we roll out with Vic. We put our guys on the left on drags, which was a good idea, and we're able to pick up a 1st down. So we're keeping the chains moving, we're keeping the clock going, and you know, this bunch base, I wouldn't go with. I'd rather just run gun bunch. Zone and wide trips, really nice formation. You got a wide receiver screen. If the DBs are back, you can motion. You can put the halfback on a wheel to that side or a little flare, and you could streak the receiver who's supposed to catch a screen, and you could really do some damage with a defense that's back or blitzing. So don't forget about that. But that zone and wide trips, you got to run there. That's pretty solid. They're empty sets, so once again, that flanker screen, I wouldn't really call it, but you know, I kind of like to always check out and see what empty has. Here we're going to come out, flip the play so that we got it rolling to Vic's strong side. We are lazy here. This is the play that pretty much should have cost us the game. Our opponent thankfully drops it. So once again, you know, you can make that throw nearly every time, but the people will start to catch on. So I like to kind of save that play a little bit, or learn to make reads off of it besides just the little halfback pass. Here we're going to motion out Gordon with our basic Z-spot setup. RB's wide open, but we go with the backbreaker route to B, to Moss, and he drops it, but that route in the MUT Invitational Game 2 saved me about 2 or 3 times. You want to throw it as he cuts back with a nice bullet pass over the middle. Learn the timing in that route in practice. It'll save you, because everybody likes to try and guard the middle of the field, and it's really tough to defend. Now, in this situation, we were going to go gun snugs, but since he was playing so much man, that gun snugs will shatter a zone coverage. And then you have the PA, which beats man, the PA quick audible. But, you know, game's on the line here, 4th and 7. We got the lead. We're going to try and run this clock out. We got an out route to Gordon, in route to Gordon, and then a slant. And boom. So right over the middle. So that's the game-winning adjustments to Z-spot. So I didn't run it the same way in that situation. I did an out and an in, and it worked out in our favor. We were able to get a nice run play. Now, once again, we're going to go back down to the stretch, and you'll see that we go right up the middle with the halfback slam because he's just giving it to us. And I was a little bit fearful about fumbling because, once again, I said if you have really good linebackers or safeties, they can really unleash some hit power on you pretty nicely. And that's how I would defend this. Like, right now, this isn't a good way for my opponent to defend it because he needs to do something beyond just letting me run the clock and run the ball out. Here we're going to go fullback dive, just quick shot up the middle. I mean, that's going to work against that front 3-down line spread every single time. We only got 1 yard, but that's all we needed. So now we're going to try ace twins, go with a little play like halfback smash, and you're going to have some tight end on the right. Hopefully, if you can get a good alignment where you don't get a defender out wide here. This is a bad alignment to run the stretch behind Gonzalez, but we take it more up the middle and we pick up 5 yards. We do take a hit though, so we're taking some hit sticks. We're hanging on to the ball because we got a good spark with Charles. But if you're my opponent right now, you gotta stress a little more, bring some guys down, be a little more aggressive perhaps. But we're gonna just try and run the clock. We're trying to win and we were trying to pass at the same time. Once again, guys, notice he's only had 1 possession in the second half, which we forced a punt on, and we've had the ball since the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. We've ran it all the way down. Now we're approaching the 2-minute warning. We're still at midfield. It's 3rd and 3. He's not gonna do anything here. Like 3rd and 3, you gotta come at me. Picked it up. So I would have liked to see him be a little bit more aggressive. Once again, early in the game, his D is fine, but at this point, it's starting to get a little bit dire. Now we're gonna go 5 wide here, and we're gonna just take it to the 2-minute warning. And once again, I wanted to take a look at that flanker screen. We're gonna flip the play and just wait out to the 2-minute warning. But yeah, my second MUT Invitational game was definitely tight, and we had a turnover that we came back from, which was big. We almost lost. We almost let the comeback happen with a missed onside recovery. So there was definitely some stress and tension in that game. I'm really looking forward to playing Ha Shugs, who's a really good player in Florida. I know Gibbs played him earlier on 360 and respect his game. I watched his gameplay against QJB, and he looked really good in that game too. So he's a really good MUT community guy, and I'm excited that somebody like that made the finals because that's what I like to see. So this is that gun spread I was talking about. So once again, you got the curl flats, which has the halfback angle. You got a draw. You got a wide receiver screen to the right if the CBs are back, which is not in every gun spread formation. So I really like that. We hit the quick draw, and then he takes his first time out. So we're figuring that's pretty good. And in this situation, we're going back down to single back ace. We're going to try a PA here, I think, and hope that he brings everybody. We're going to run here. We're going to try the PA later. Now he's got some more guys up in the face, which is nice. But Charles' claw's pretty nice. And here he doesn't take a timeout. And we're going to just try and quickly go to goal line, get the QB sneak. Anytime there's inches, I'm pretty much going to sneak it, especially if I can come out really fast before he can get everybody down in there and just kind of take it. I mean, yeah, we didn't run as much clock as we wanted to, but getting the first down there is more important than anything else. We could have fumbled, but, that's a risk you're willing to take. It's going to be pretty consistent for you. Worst case scenario, we go up by 10, and he's got 2 timeouts. So that's you take the field goal there if you get the 4th and inches. You don't go for it again because you always want to make it 2 scores. Here we're just going to try out some other runs. We put Eric Dickerson in because he's got very good carry and can fall forward a lot. My opponent's still not taking his second time out. We're going to run halfback ISO. Bring Moss in as an extra blocker. Pick up a decent chunk here as Dickerson falls in behind his blockers. He takes a timeout. Now, here we're gonna go single back ace. Tried to play PA zone a seam. So see if he's gonna maybe run commit. A lot of people would start to run commit at this point. So we're gonna try and float it to Ditka, but that doesn't end up working out. It's almost there. We scramble with Vic. We go out of bounds. You probably want to try and stay in bounds in that situation, but you really, really, really don't want to fumble. So that's an opportunity that you have with this. We were 1 play ahead, 1 time out ahead, so we had it. So with this Charles run, we're going to pick up the first down, but look, we're going to get out of bounds because out of bounds ends the game. Even though first down ends the game, so once we get the first down, like if we had taken a hit and fumble right there, the ball would have went out of bounds, which is good. The clock is running anyway. We stayed in, but huge run right there, and you want to definitely get out of bounds. Now, once again, we're checking out that gun spread, and I'm going to show you that slot fade. People throw these online. My opponent did it in round 2 of the MUT game, so put a big receiver in the slot, put him on a fade route, which is the hot route, right stick up from outside the 10-yard line, and then you basically pass lead outside, like down and to the left if you're throwing to the left, so Moss, and then right now at the 4-yard line, he'll try and go up and catch it. So depending on the coverage, you can get a nice jump like that. He might hang on to it. So it's something, but it's not really consistent from what I saw or from what I had to defend so far. Now here, we're just going to try a couple streaks in the end zone, try and click on, make a play. But you can put guys on the outside on streaks or fades with the right stick, and then just throw an inside pass lead to Gordon. Here we're going to get 2 bad passes, and he's just going to swat them away. But we're going to try a streak to Gordon. Just having fun at the end of the game. Obviously we're only up 7, so we really don't want to throw a pick. That can be returned, but it's a little something extra. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the MUT Podcast. If you did, subscribe in the bottom left-hand corner. I do want to break down the Seahawks playbook next, but if you guys have a playbook you want to see, maybe Atlanta or Green Bay or something of that sort, let me know in the comments. A comment would help. I've also got a MUT survey going on. If you want to check out my Twitter, I can hit you up, or email me if you have any feedback, guys. ZFarls@maddentips.com. So hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, guys, and until next time, lock up.